Hey guys, today we're diving into one of the ultimate face-offs in retro gaming, Super Mario Bros. Versus Super Mario Bros. 3. Two of the most iconic games ever released on the NES, and let's be honest, in video game history. But if you could only play one, which one would you choose? Which one truly stands out as the superior classic? Well, in this video, we're going to compare the two games and find out how they stack up against each other. Let's kick things off with the game that started it all. Super Mario Bros. Released in 1985. This wasn't just another game. It was the game that saved the entire US home console industry after the crash of 1983. Imagine walking into an arcade and thinking, wow, home consoles are over. But then the NES comes along and there's Super Mario Bros. This game single-handedly changed everything, putting home console gaming back on the map. At its core, Super Mario Bros. Is a side-scrolling platformer where you control Mario, or Luigi if you're playing with a friend in two-player mode. The mission? Rescue Princess Toadstool from the evil Bowser, who's kidnapped her and taken her to one of his mini castles. You had to dodge Goombas, Koopa Troopas, Piranha Plants, and those pesky Hammer Brothers, all while navigating levels that got progressively harder. Of course, Super Mario Bros. Wasn't just any platformer. It introduced revolutionary mechanics that would set the standard for decades. Power-ups like the Super Mushroom, which made Mario grow twice his size, and the Fire Flower, which lets you throw fireballs, were brand new concepts. These power-ups added layers to the gameplay, making it more than just running and jumping. The level design was brilliant too. Hidden blocks, warp zones, and secret areas kept players coming back, trying to find every shortcut and secret passage. When it comes to impact, Super Mario Bros. Didn't just influence platformers, it reinvented them. The game pioneered the side-scrolling genre, with smooth scrolling and tight controls that were almost unheard of at the time. It's safe to say that without this game, the landscape of gaming would look very different today. And we can't forget about that soundtrack by Koji Kondo. Everyone knows that original theme, even if they've never played the game. Before we get to Super Mario Bros. 3, let's talk about the curious case of Super Mario Bros. 2. If you're wondering why this one feels so different, well, that's because it kinda is. In Japan, Super Mario Bros. 2 was released as a true sequel. Same graphics for the most part, same gameplay. It was a tough game, marketed in Japan as being for super players. But Nintendo of America deemed this game too difficult for us over here in the West. They didn't think it would sell. So Nintendo made a bit of a switcheroo. They took another Miyamoto game called Doki Doki Panic, reskinned the characters, and that became Super Mario 2 for the rest of us. Now, this version of Super Mario 2 was a whole new experience. Instead of just jumping on enemies to defeat them, you could now pick them up and toss them. And for the first time, you could choose between Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Princess Toadstool, each with their own unique abilities. Luigi could jump higher, Peach could float, Toad was quick and strong, and Mario? Well, Mario was Mario. It felt like a very different game because it was. Gone were the Goombas and Koopas, replaced by Shy Guys, Bob-ombs, and Birdo. It didn't feel like the true sequel to Super Mario Bros., but it did give us some characters and mechanics that would eventually become staples in the series. Now let's get to the big one, Super Mario Bros. 3. Released in Japan in 1988 and in North America in 1990. This game took everything that was great about the original and cranked it up to 11. Nintendo really knew how to build the hype for this one. It was even featured in a movie called The Wizard, a major motion picture from Universal Studios that came out a couple of months before the game, and it teased gameplay footage. It was cheesy, but beyond the marketing, the game itself delivered on every level. So, what made Super Mario 3 so special? Well, for starters, the overworld map was a huge innovation. Instead of going level to level in a straight line like in the original, you now had choices. The map allowed you to pick different paths, take detours to bonus games, and even skip some levels if you found the right items. And speaking of items, Super Mario 3 introduced some of the most memorable power-ups in the series. The Super Leaf gave Mario the ability to fly with his raccoon tail, the Tanuki suit added statue transformation, and the Frog suit made water levels a breeze. Well, if you didn't get hit. Technically, Super Mario 3 was a marvel for the NES. The graphics were more colorful and detailed than ever. The sprites were bigger and more expressive, and the animation was smoother. Every world in the game felt distinct, whether it was the scorching sands of the desert land or the larger-than-life giant land. Each area was packed with its own set of unique challenges and enemies. The gameplay mechanics in Super Mario 3 were revolutionary. There were more controls than in the original, but they were solid. And the game introduced new elements like flying, sliding, and picking up Koopa shells to throw at enemies. These mechanics added layers of strategy that weren't present in the original game. And let's not forget the Koopalings, Bowser's 7 minions, each acting as unique bosses for their respective worlds. Mario 3 pushed the boundaries of what a platformer could be, influencing countless games that came after it, both within the Mario series and beyond. So now that we looked at both games, the question remains, which one is better? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about Super Mario Bros. This game is iconic for a reason. It introduced us to so many of the characters, enemies, and gameplay mechanics we know and love today. Goombas, Koopa Troopas, Bowser, all of them made their debut here. The level design was simple but smart, with hidden warp zones and secret blocks encouraging exploration. It also made incredible use of the limited NES hardware, squeezing its entire world into just 40 kilobytes of memory. That's impressive even by today's standards. But, of course, Super Mario Bros. Has its drawbacks. For one, there is no save feature, which means if you don't finish the game in one sitting, you're starting from square one next time you power on the NES. The boss battles are also a bit repetitive. Each Bowser fight played out pretty much the same. And let's be real, after a while, the backgrounds and level designs start to feel a little too familiar. The lack of variety is definitely a limitation in this game. Now let's look at Super Mario Bros. 3. This game was designed to be bigger, better, and more challenging than the original, and it delivered. With over 50 different enemies, including new ones like Chain Chomps, Thwomps, and Boos, the game constantly kept you on your toes. And again, the overworld map was a game changer, giving players more freedom to choose their paths through the game. There were also mini-games and toad houses where you could collect extra power-ups, adding even more variety to the experience. But Super Mario Bros. 3 was not without its own quirks. The game was definitely more challenging, and for newer or younger players, that difficulty might be a bit much. This is a much bigger game than the original, but unfortunately, this game also has no save feature. Though to be fair, both games did offer warp zones and warp whistles to skip worlds if you knew where to find them. And while the sheer number of secrets was fun for completionists, it could also be overwhelming for casual players who didn't know what to look for. Let's face it, Super Mario 3 is a big game, and it's easy to feel like you're missing something. So which one's better? Honestly, it's a matter of preference. If you're looking for a simple, straightforward platformer for any skill level that's easy to pick up and hard to master, then the original Super Mario Bros. Is probably your game. It's timeless, nostalgic, and arguably one of the most important video games ever made. On the other hand, if you want a deeper, more complex experience with a ton of variety and innovations, then Super Mario 3 takes the crown. It's bigger, bolder, and packed with secrets that make each playthrough feel fresh. Both games are masterpieces in their own right, and their influence on the gaming industry can still be felt today. Whether you prefer the simplicity of Super Mario Bros. Or the depth of Super Mario Bros. 3, you really can't go wrong with either one. But I want to hear from you. Which game do you think stands out as the superior classic? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more retro gaming content, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. And don't forget to ring that bell so you'll get notified every time I post a new video. Thanks for your time today. Goodbye.